Hello, my name is David Webb and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first and I have the blank and I must be quite close to a bingo. I need to mentally run through the alphabet for the blank and see if one pops into my head. I'm up to K. Nothing so far. Up to T. And I can't see one. Well, I've been through the alphabet, I can't see one. My concern is whether axonema is good. And I'm just not sure. Even if there is a bingo here, this non-bingo may actually be very close or better. Zoana for 40. The leave of E blank was good. And the score of 40 points was good. The blank is worth about 25 points, so if I add the 25 to the 40, plus the 4 for the leave of the E, the move of Zoana was actually worth nearly 70 points. And if I'd actually got a bingo, I'd have probably got 70 or 80, so there probably isn't a lot in it. Now I still have the blank. Do I have a bingo? Got rather a lot of vowels and the U and the F are not bingo friendly. And I've got the floaters of the N and the A. Right, I do have a bingo. I've got Fiatius. Using the blank as a T. It's not a great bingo in that it scores face value. But it's good to have one. I can now quickly run through the alphabet and see if there's something else. I'm looking for just a seven letter bingo. I'm up to R and I haven't seen anything. I am going quite quickly. Well, I may have missed something. I think Fiatius is fine. And I draw the second blank, which is pretty good. I do, however, have 6 vowels to go with that. So I'm not going to be bingoing straight away. I'd like to retain the blank and play off 3 or 4 vowels. So if there were a floating R, I would have Uri, O-O-R-I-E. But I'm struggling to see anything great with the rack as it stands. I may need to change if I can't score more than 10 points and play off 3 vowels. I can't play through the X. The lack of any consonants at all is really quite inhibiting. Through a floating C, I would have Cooey, which would be pretty good because that would be getting rid of 4 vowels and leaving EI blank. So the best move my opponent could play would be one which put a C out into open space. I've established a 76-point lead. It would be nice to build on that. If I didn't change, oon. Ah, hang on, O-N-I-E is good, and I could play that parallel and to the left of Fiatius through the N of Zoana. Now that would score 13 points and leave double E O blank. That would certainly be better than changing. Is there anything else available on this board? It would be nice to play through the F for score, but the F doesn't go well with the vowels that I have. Fee or fo is probably the best I can manage, and I don't want to retain 4 vowels because I will be running a really high risk of drawing more, and if you have 5 or 6 or more vowels, it's not a good rack. So is there anything better than Oni? I don't think so. If Oni is blocked and no new opportunities are presented, I will probably change my tiles. And if I change, I think I will keep just the E and a blank. Well, my opponent's taking a while with his move. I wonder if he is close to a bingo. Or maybe he's just got a troublesome rack. I could play oboe for 12 points. Right, my opponent has blocked Oni. And he has presented no new opportunities, I think. Just looking if I've got anything coming down from the H. But anything I have only uses 2 vowels, and that's just not enough. Okay, so it's a change. And that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Given that I kept the blank and the E, I've drawn 5 consonants, and they're 5 consonants which don't go well together. The Q is available at the moment in Fiatius. Can I play through that? Gosh, I can't. Even with a floating U, I can't play my Q. And there's no I's on the board, so I can't play chi or chin. So the choices are either changing again, which wouldn't be, certainly wouldn't be very nice, or playing a word like herd somewhere. So my opponent plays a U, but he doesn't provide an opening for me to play the Q or to play herd. Gosh, this is very unusual, changing 2 moves running. So, am I missing something? I could play heed on top of Zoana. Let's see what that scores. -19 points, but the Q is worth minus 13, I think, so I'm keeping the G and the Q. I really want to use my blank, and therefore I'm going to keep RE blank. And we're back to having a whole bunch of vowels, but I think I think I almost certainly do have a bingo here. My opponent takes the lead with his bingo. So what do I have? The hottest hotspot is through the M of Formiate, if I can reach both double word squares. Well, better than that would be a triple in column 15, but I would have to find a bingo through the E. Okay, and there's 4 bingos with A, 3 E's and a U. There's emerald, sequeli, gosh, I'm struggling to remember the others, the other 2. Okay, laureate. No, laureate's 2 A's, so it's sequeli, emerald, no, I'm not remembering them. Hopefully, well, I hope they don't go and I miss it. So the second best spot is through the M of Formiate. I should first of all just consider if I've got any bingos through that M, and then maybe one of those will hit both doubles. So I'm just mentally going to run through the alphabet for the blank. I'm up to L and I haven't seen anything. I just comment in passing that I do have ureteral through the R of Formiate, so I am bingoing. Numerate. Numerate is good. Ah, and that works. Superb. It's best not to get too hung up on hitting both doubles. It's important to do so if you can, but if you focus on finding the bingos, then you may well find that some of the bingos you come up with do fit the job, and this certainly does. There may actually be a better one, because although numerate hits both bingos, it does take an E in front. So I am providing an opportunity for my opponent, which I may not need to do so if there were an alternative bingo which played in the same spot. Great, I've got vlogger and enumerate. Fantastic. And I've got vloggers in row M. So I have to turn up for the books. Usually with a V and 2 G's it's not a good rack, but vloggers is certainly a good thing to see on your rack. So vlogger for 75, is there a better spot for it? Just having a look at the score in row M. 78. I'm already 50 points ahead. I think I've got to put a vlogger down here. It scores more. And vlogger in row C does provide an easy opportunity for my opponent to put an S on the end. Now, am I missing anywhere else for vlogger? Don't think so. Right, K and W, not bingo-y, but after the success of my last rack, I mustn't rule one out. Cotwal is good, Kotwal. A-L. I am now 127 points ahead, which is a good lead. Calder and enumerate. Yup. Okay. So, how to score? I could just play vow in column 1 for 27 points, or a vow would be better, for 33, leaving KLNT. Ah, look at this. Walk. That's 48 points, and the leave of LNOT isn't too tragic. Certainly better than 4 consonants. Can't see anything better than that. Well, that looks promising. Through an E I would have sentinel. There isn't an E. I would also have non-elect. The floater that is available is the A of formiate. So is there something through that? Not that I can see. So my lead is down to just 103 points now. So a bingo would have my opponent breathing down my neck. So I certainly need to keep scoring. I've got a novel in column 1. Only 27 points, but it takes out a good scoring spot for my opponent. I have the con prefix. I'm pretty sure I don't have a 7-letter bingo. Don't have anything through the W of walk. Cloven is certainly better than novel. Cloven would be pretty good in column 1. 36 points. But I am expecting my opponent to take that out because it probably is the best spot available. So anything better than cloven. Now, enumerate's a 9-letter word which I haven't studied except as a hook for numerate, so I don't know what hooks it takes at the beginning or the end. I guess enumerate is a verb which takes D and S, but it's possible that it takes a hook at the beginning. But I certainly don't have any candidate letters on my rack. I could play in row K. I could play Conti for 19 points, which is not great, and the leave of LN is pretty poor. Just looking at the tiles that are left, there's a whole bunch of I's still to go. There are 3 S's, and of the high-scoring tiles there's the Z and the Q. There are no blanks to go because I have already been blessed with both of them. I suppose another hot spot is the triple letter square at J2, played down onto the double word square at N2, if I could put my C on that. So I think Colette is good, but that would leave 2 N's, so I wouldn't play it. But in terms of score, 28 points, which isn't bad. Maybe my opponent will provide a floating E. He is behind. He may be thinking of opening the board up. Having said that, the board is pretty open. Can't see anything else that I haven't considered. We've both got less than 10 minutes left. There are 31 tiles in the bag and 7 on my opponent's rack, so I'm not in time trouble. Okay, well that's the cloven spot taken. My opponent does provide a floating E, but in the wrong spot. So, what to do? I guess I should have spent that time generating a plan B. So what about clone across here? Certainly good to play off a bunch of tiles, because I'm not really close to a bingo. I don't have any high scoring tiles, and I do want the game to end quickly, given that I'm ahead. So clone 19 points. Doesn't feel great. The leave is fine of N and T. I probably will pick up vowels given how many are left. This is not a bingo lane that I'm obstructing, so could I do better? Well, not that I can see. And that's not good. I'm fortunate that I pick up an E. There is now only one E unseen, which is good in that it inhibits my opponent's bingo prospects. I've got the J. My priority is to score well with this rack. I'm going to struggle to sort it out in one go. When you've got the J, you'd really like to have a bunch of vowels, and I don't have that. I've just got the E. I could play Haj, H-A-J, through the A of 4-me-8. That would score 21 points, and it would take out a bingo lane. Good, well that option is still available. Is there anything else? It's actually not bad. It keeps the scoring tile in the V, and if I pick a vowel, say an A or an I, that's not a bad set of letters to have. So Haj for 21. What else is there? It's not great keeping 4 consonants, but looking in the bag, there's only 1 R, only 2 T's, only 2 N's, which is 5 tiles out of 28, sorry. So actually there is a reasonable chance I may draw 1, and certainly any of those duplicates would damage my rack. But what else is available? Is there anything? I mean, through an O I've got John, but I'm struggling to see other short words. I don't have to play the J off, but if I don't play the J, I'd like to play off the V and the H, because neither of those tiles goes particularly well with the J. I'm a little low on time, so I think I will take the points here. Where are all these vowels? There looks like 6 eyes unseen. There are 11 vowels out there out of 26 tiles. And I am not drawing them. Well, there's one of the eyes. I've got derv. That's actually nice in that it uses the V, scores reasonably well, splits up the duplicate R. And if I pick up some vowels, this isn't bad. If I don't, I'm not looking at a good rack. But I am still, well, after I play this, I will be 100 points ahead, which is quite a comfortable lead. One irksome thing about this move is the use of my E, which is obviously a very good tile to keep, given that it's a good tile anyway, but there is only one E unseen. So I don't want to play it cheaply. I'm just looking around. If I don't play it, I'm going to have to play through a vowel that's already on the board. I've no idea if re-numerate is good. I'm certainly not going to take that chance. It's the O of formiates. I could play 2 tiles. But if I played only 2 tiles, well, I suppose I'd play Vor. But it would only be 10 points. I'm getting 24 for Der, which is a lot better, so I'll stick with that. And the Q resurfaces, but it resurfaces with the I and the N. So I've got Chi, I've got Chin. Through an A, I would have cat. There is an A available in enumerate, or enumerate. My opponent doesn't bingo. He's played his S off and S off for 23 points, so he may well have another S. Where can I play Chi or Chin? There may be nowhere. Through an A, I would also have Trank. Well, I think I'm grateful for the cat possibility. I certainly wouldn't want to be stuck with the Q. Cat only scores 12 points and it leaves a duplicate I, and there are 3 I's out there, so I've got a really high likelihood of having more I's. Given all the I's, maybe if I could score and provide an opportunity for playing Chi, that would be best. But that's quite a tricky move to set up. And the risk about setting up one opportunity for a play is that it gets blocked and then you don't make the play, you're stuck with the Q. Which I definitely don't want to happen. I hope I'm not missing an easy opportunity to play Chi. Well, fortunately I am ahead, so I may be able to survive a triplicate I. Just don't think there is anywhere for the Q apart from here. And that's good, I'm spared drawing another I. And I look fairly close to a bingo. 50 points for my opponent. There aren't really any bingo lanes open. My opponent's only 42 points behind. There are 4 tiles in the bag. Not a bingo-y board. He doesn't have an E. I need to play off 3 tiles to leave 1 in the bag. So I could play peon through the O of snobs for 12 points. That's not very many. I've only got 2 minutes left. What else is there? Gosh. Surely. Well, I don't want to empty the bag. I can see opportunities using more than 3 tiles, but it really is sensible to leave one in the bag. I think if my opponent bingos, he probably wins anyway, so maybe I don't need to leave one in the bag. Okay, I'm going to have to play fairly quickly. This is certainly not best. I have Timider. Nowhere to play it. I can see what my opponent's got. I don't think he's got a bingo. If the Y's in the bag, he's got a Nopias and a Nopsia, but they don't go. So is he going to play off one tile in the hope of having a bingo? If he does, I may be able to play Timider. I need to keep an eye on the time. My opponent's got 6 minutes, but I've only got just over 1. So I need to have a plan as to what I'm going to do. I'm looking above Zoana. If I could play parallel to Zoana and above it, placing my M next to the E of Fiatius, I could score reasonably well. I could play Tide there, that would score okay, and it would retain the M for score. So I think I'm going to be okay. Tad for 15, where's that happened? 14F. Oh well, my opponent has not opened a spot for Timider. So this is what I was looking at. I can see what my opponent's got. Oh, he did only play off 1 tile. 1, 2, 3. Yes, there are only 7 left. So Tide scores 18. That may not be optimal, but I am short on time. I don't think my opponent's got a bingo. So, is there anywhere that I can play out with Emir or Merry? Or Maya and Eta. I've actually inadvertently opened up an out spot for myself. In row F, I've got Maya and Eta, or Merry and Ita. Nothing through the W. Nothing on to peon. Peon takes a Y at the end, so my opponent could go there. I've got nothing beginning with the E of V. So I may only have that 1 out spot. If that is the case, then certainly Tide was not a great move. Do I have another spot? Oh, good. Merry has not been blocked. Coley is good, and I wouldn't want my opponent to play a phony and not spot it. So Merry and Ita for 13 points. Just wait for my opponent to formally end the game, which he does. And I win by 446 points to 390, a winning spread of 56. So that's a return to winning ways. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. Was there a bingo? No, there wasn't, and Zoana scored the most. And Fiatius is the only bingo here, so certainly grateful for spotting that. Very little here, so I think changing was fine. Feek for 38 at F8. Well, it uses the blank, and although the blank's only worth 25 points, I don't think there are many players who would play the blank for 38 points, even going through the logic of the blank only being worth 25. It's very difficult to prove just on the numbers that Feek is not as good as changing, but well, it's intriguing. It would be good to run this through Quackle and see what Quackle says. But leaving aside Feek, the other options are Guy and Ray. Well, they all retain the Q, and I think changing's got to be better. Q and the blank do not go well together unless you've got a bingo. Numerate, great, that was the only double-double, and there was no triple-triple. Vloggers and Vlogger. Well, not really surprised to see that they were the only bingos playable. And Walk was the highest scoring play there. Well, this is the Collet play at J2. My opponent's play of Vey didn't block it. In fact, it enabled it to score more. 34 points, retaining 2 N's when there were N's unseen. Not great, but the score of 34 may actually have justified or made that a better play than the one I made, which only scored 19. Here we've got Gia for 28. Okay, and I did Hadge for 21, but I retained the vowel. I think I prefer my play there. Derv at A12 was what I played. Yeah, actually pin M13, possibly better than cat, but not convinced. It's actually a Q can be a really awkward letter, and if in doubt, play it. Pernit, that was the longer move that I was thinking about when I said that I didn't want to empty the bag. Again, a difficult to be confident or to know which is the best move in this occasion. Fortunately, Quackle is available and can assist with coming to a conclusion. Deem G6, I think that's... Well, I was going to say that's the move I was looking for, but it's not, because I was certainly looking to get rid of one of the I's. But I was looking to put the M on the same spot as it would have gone on with Deem, so actually my play here was fine. And the only outplays were in row F with the inadvertent opening that I'd made, so I was fortunate there. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that game. There were lots of interesting racks, and also it was great to play vloggers. So thank you for watching. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.